First, they threw it straight into the water. In addition, they also used small fish as bait. Because in the Amazon River Basin, the ecosystem is so rich that every fish species has its own favorite food. Even a carnivorous fish weighing over 1 pound was hooked and used as bait. For most people, catching a fish like that would surely be a reason to celebrate. But here, it's only enough to use as bait for bigger fish. They set up dozens of big fishing hooks, hoping to see what kind of river monster they could catch. The next day, they took the boat back to check the fishing spots. At the first spot, they found the wooden stick tied to the line had been broken, showing there was a very powerful creature underwater. And they pulled up the line, the bait was completely gone. A big fish bit the bait and escaped. With no choice, they moved to the next spot. At the second spot, nothing happened at first. But suddenly, a giant fish rose to the surface, making the whole group excited. Da Zhang immediately pulled it close to the boat. The captain used a rope to wrap around the fish, then grabbed the fin and gave a big tug to drag the fish on board. This fish must have weighed about 55 to 66 pounds. It was a giant catfish without scales. Its meat would surely be delicious. Eating this one won't make you immortal, but it would definitely take 2 big bowls of rice to finish. In the Amazon, fishing is an everyday activity. At another spot, big worms were also used to catch a small catfish, weighing around 3 to 4 pounds. Compared to the first fish, this one was just a baby. Seeing that, Sang Biao released it back into the water, showing respect for conservation. But the Amazon is always full of surprises. And Sang Biao gently tugged the line tied to a branch. The water suddenly rippled. It was clear there was another big catch. The water was even rougher than with the first fish. The fish thrashed wildly, making it impossible for Da Zhang to pull it onto the boat right away. He quickly wrapped a rope around the fish, then tied its tail tightly. So the fish had no choice but to surrender. With a body weight of 220 pounds, Da Zhang easily hauled this fish weighing dozens of kilos on board. The second fish was just as big as the first one, and definitely big enough to take home. Next, they checked the fourth fishing spot. This time, the giant worm bait caught yet another fierce fish. Huang Lao Dai held the line steady, and quickly scooped it onto the boat. It was also a catfish, but only about half the size of the first two. Catfish weighing around 22 pounds like this was still considered small to them, not big enough to keep. This is also how local fishermen preserve the fish population. If the fish isn't mature, they release it back to the river. Finally, at the last fishing spot, Da Zhang reeled in the line and a white fish jumped out of the water.